So looking at the second half of Matthew chapter 7, it starts at verse 16 saying, "You will recognize the people by their fruit, the fruit they possess." This being the fruits of the Spirit. Verse 18 says, "A good tree cannot bear bad fruit, and a bad tree cannot bear good fruit." So basically saying whatever kind of fruit you possess is basically saying that's your reputation, that's your character that you've built. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into a fire. Thus, by their fruit, you will recognize them. Just off the top of my head, like the fruits of the Spirit, I think it's at Galatians 5:22. It's like joyfulness, faithfulness, kindness, all those sorts of things. And in verse 21, that's where it gets to this pretty scary verse. Jesus says, verse 21, "Not everyone who says to me, 'Lord, Lord,' will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. Many will say to me on that day, 'Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name, and in your name drive out demons, and in your name perform many miracles?' Then I will tell them plainly, 'I never knew you. Away from me, you evildoers.'" Verse 24, "Therefore anyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock." He's saying that people who use this verse into practice is helping you, to not be of the world, not live in sin or whatever it may be, not bear bad fruit, but instead bear good fruit. When you have this fear of the Lord and you remember this verse saying like, not everyone makes it into heaven, you'll start to take more precaution of it and be more serious about what you're doing with God and your relationship with Jesus. What I want to point out is what Jesus was saying, like how the people were saying, "Did we not prophesy in your name, and in your name drive out demons, and in your name perform many miracles?" They're saying all these works, that's what's going to get into heaven. But they're forgetting that the gift of God, his grace and forgiveness of sins to get you into heaven. Because no one is perfect, we're all human. We all fall short of the glory of God. And that is why by works, you're not going to get into heaven. It's with your faith in Jesus that can save you and get you into heaven. That genuine faith. But again, faith without works is dead. But when you have faith in Jesus and you have love for Jesus, you're naturally going to have good works and a result of that. And you're going to be wanting to live to please Jesus because of your faith in Jesus and love for Jesus. So that's what it means by saying faith without works is dead. It's not saying, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that so I can get into heaven. No. Your genuine faith in Jesus will push you to do what is right for pleasing God. And bearing good fruit, people will recognize that. Jesus is saying to remember the verse where he says, "I never knew you. Away from me, you evildoers." Because there are people there are going to be good people out there that didn't have genuine faith, but have done all these good things, thinking that's what's going to get them to heaven. But Jesus is saying, no, you have to surrender yourself, deny yourself, carry your cross up daily, and accept the fact that you're a sinner, that you're unworthy, and that you need God's grace in order to be saved and get into heaven. And when you realize that, you'll have a genuine faith and love for Jesus, for where you want to love him back and do everything in your power to please him and live for him. So when I say this is like a fearful or scary verse, it's a useful, scary verse to use to remind yourself that you need to be, genuine with your faith and love for Jesus and loving him back. I mean, after what he did, it's the least we could do. Bear good fruit and try to live to please him. I mean, we're all going to fall short. We're not going to be perfect. But again, we have to repent and accept the fact that we need his love and grace. And that's what's so great about it. And in Proverbs 3, later in my reading, it says, "My son, do not forget my teaching, but keep my commands in your heart. For they will prolong your life many years and bring you peace and prosperity. Let love and faithfulness never leave you. Bind them around your neck. Write them on the tablet of your heart. Then you will win favor and a good name in the sight of God and man. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him and he will make your path straight." A lot of times we get so caught up in focusing on our own problems, our own thoughts, and not realizing that Jesus can take care of that. If we cast our burdens, all our thoughts, anxieties onto him, he can take care of it. And if you lean on him, your life will be so much better.